these sheep out first. I hear ya. Everybody's hungry. Take off this jacket. It was kind of chilly, but not now. So I separated the babies, 3 days ago, because Mama's started going into heat and I got a boy over here. When it was time anyways. This is 11 weeks, right? Yes. All right. Come on out, babies. Hi, sweetie. You can eat my fingers. Hi, baby. All right. Let's let Mama's out. Couldn't tell if that was falling. All right, Mama Beans, Papa Bean. You guys ready to come out? Hey, Double. Hi, buddy. That's the boy. That's my ram. He's his little short, cute face. Are you looking at your babies? Oh, you'll get to see them again. Because those girls over there were keeping 3 of them. So they'll stay. And then the boy, I don't know, I've thought about keeping him. I'd turn him into a wether just to be a companion for the ram, but we'll see. He's so friendly. All right, you guys. You coming out this way? Come on. Come on. Let's go check your area. Make sure there's all right. I'm getting you guys some food. Let me check their area. Hi, Edie Bear. I'll have to wean those babies. Not super soon, a few months. They're getting pretty big. And they'll be going off to Willowbrook Farm down the road. All right. We gotta check this and just make sure the fencing's all together still. There's no predator that jumped in there. What you doing? Come on. They're following you. Well, the babies are learning to crying a lot, but a little less. Hunger always wins. They eventually go out there and eat. They're still staying near. So this is set up. Should last them maybe a week. Electric company's supposed to come in and replace some of these poles, so I'm trying to get them over here as much as possible before once they bring those big trucks in, all this grass a lot of it'll be gone. Not usable this year. There's the babies. See, mamas are right here. All right, you guys are good. Let's get the cows some food. So much trash. I'm always picking it up. You know what? Look at that there every day. I don't understand why people, I guess they probably still do it today, but they just threw, that right there is a big pile of trash I gotta clear out. Just threw all their trash on farms in big piles. Then I found huge areas of just regular household trash, glass. Cleaning it up little by little. Right, Edie? That's your hair. All right, you guys. Are you hungry? Let's turn off this water, get you some food. So you notice I let the water run out a little bit there. That's on purpose. They have not had to have any hoof trimming since I've had them. Because if you don't feed your animals grain, because grain grows hooves, you keep them moving, give them space to move, which they move a little more in the summer. They move to this pasture and around, but obviously I got a little less ground and too many cows, but I still move them regularly. They got a big pasture up there, and then once I get these babies weaned, the cows will start moving a little more, even though they'll still have hay. But back to the water. So keep them moving, don't feed them grain, and then you do want their hooves to be getting wet and drying out, getting wet and drying out as they're moving. That's what makes those hooves trim down naturally, to get wet and dry, wet and dry. Problem is, you know, people either have their animals constantly at a barn in a muddy lot, they're contained all year round, they're not moving, so their hooves are just staying constantly wet. Or they could be out on pasture. Oh, I forgot to turn off that water. I need to do that when I get back. Or they could just be out on pasture, and you know, sometimes that works because you'll have the dew in the morning and rain, but sometimes it's just too dry. So if they have kind of mud in front of their water, they're gonna be walking in that mud, getting their hooves wet, and then as they walk around in the dry grass, they dry. You gotta do the same through the winter. So their hooves naturally trim down. Phoebe's take a little longer. I still keep an eye on them because a little of it's a little genetics. But hers tend to eventually trim off. So we're gonna give them, after letting the sheep out, we're gonna give the cows hay. And I'm gonna, so each day I feed them in the morning. Well, when we get over the pasture, I'll explain what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be spreading out their manure pats. A lot of stuff when managing a small farm is about doing things consistently daily, short, small things. You know, not doing the minimum and then waiting months to just try to go catch up. You still feel like you're never caught up, but just maintaining things little by little. Oh yeah, see, using a sled. So I don't use a tractor. Obviously, that's my goal, to keep things as, I'm gonna go around front. Use the least amount of, keep things efficient for one person to do manually. I gotta go around front, so I'm gonna go ahead and go this way. Need to clean there. Oh, I didn't turn off that water. Tomorrow I gotta clean your guys' water out. Let me turn this water off. I do use my quad and a riding lawnmower. The only time I mow is out front by the road, and then I'll keep a path probably about 4 times a year mowed down around the perimeter of the farm that I can walk the dogs or walk myself. Other than that, all this I've never used a mower on, well, since I've had animals. And then the quad I will use if I have a lot of stuff I have to move with the quad and trailer. And then once in a while, like in the spring or bigger pastures, if there's a lot of, like this will need graded, drug out, you know, once in a while. But I try to, what I'm gonna do here in their pasture, I try to do that little by little, so I'm even using the quad and the gas as least as possible. All right, you guys, we're going around front. So I'm gonna feed them. We're going all the way around front by the road, because this half of the pasture, you see all these manure pats, I'm gonna take a pitchfork, spread those out. Mainly, well, a few reasons. Helps them go in the ground more, dries them out. And then we don't have the flies putting larvae in them and making flies. So there's a lot of benefit to it. This time of year, there's still flies out. It's really important in the summer, but after I feed them, if I keep them on that side, I do half the pasture. Just do that every day. I'm coming. You guys are eating the cow's food. You guys got all of that other grass. You don't need their food. I gotta take this. Go eat your grass. The cows would like to have that grass that you have. I can't put the cows over here. They would probably stay in this fence. But if they got spooked or something happened, they ran into it, it's a lot harder to manage the cows, get them back. I mean, they're good, they would, but sheep are just a lot easier and safer. Well, my goal is to eventually get that fenced in better so both the animals can go over there. Are you hungry, Teddy? All right, let's go around front. Follow me. You hungry, Edie? You know Teddy's gonna take the first. He's already moving you. We're going all the way up here. Usually I go around the front, but Depends on where I get the hay out of. This is part of my path I mow down. All right, I think I'll start around here. So this area, tomorrow, like yesterday, I did the manure over here and they ate down there. I'm still feeding them on the ground. They were taking the bioworma, but it just ran out and they should be good, which is a natural dewormer they eat every night. But just make sure I don't put it on their previous food. Right up here, Teddy. There's a good spot. And then I'm gonna put some feeders for the winter in there so they can eat up off the ground. Come on, you guys and gals. Little fella. All right, here's a good spot. Let me get a good throw on. Watch out, Elabella. Yesterday I was getting sticks in there. I just don't want them. Babies run around. They don't trip on them. All right, Lulu. Lulu's at the bottom of the coo order. Well, and then the babies are after her, but hang on, Lulu, I gotta find a spot with no poo. I know. What do you want? How about, I think right behind you there. Yeah. I'm gonna leave this up front, so let's put this somewhere around here. All right. Oh, I should have brought my water up here. Oh, I can let my roosters out. I didn't put their food out yet, but Jesse's up, so I usually don't let them out. Jesse's sleeping, but he's up. All right, so get my pitchfork. And then I go from about the barn to the fence on this side while they're eating over there. Oh, yeah, I was gonna bring some ash to put in there from the fireplace, which helps them. They'll lick that, and it's a natural dewormer. So now I'll just go through there manure, spread it around. It dries out and breaks down faster. And you don't have flies. You're breaking that life cycle of the larvae, because I don't use, everything's all natural, so fly control is all natural. Well, I mean, I'm not, if there was an acute emergency, you know, I would use pharmaceutical interventions, but that's what they're for, not, if you want healthy animals, not for the natural maintaining of them. So even though my cows, they're good, always keep an eye on them. If you're in the field with them, because they are like 1,000 pounds. And even though, I mean, you always follow the rule of never turn your back on a bull, but even the girls, they surprise you. Did I turn that water off? It does not look like it, does it? I thought I went back here and did that. Well, I apparently did not. Let's go do that. Was I talking to you guys and forgot to turn the water off? So that obviously is an efficiency fail. Need to put an off switch in this end. I need to get that. Come on. Need to get gotta check and make sure the hose isn't on that electric so it doesn't ground it out. It probably wouldn't, but I thought I turned this off. What happened? Where's your babies? They're actually off eating. Not whining for you. That's pretty good. Did not expect that, because normally they'd be up here. Let's see where they went. There they are. Look at you guys. Off by yourself, like big little lammies. So they're now getting a little more confident on their own. That's good. Yes. Are you guys drying out a little better? Oh yeah, you are. Good. I know yesterday they were so swollen. I know you guys were walking funny yesterday. So these ladies should be able to start gaining a little better too. All right, now that water's off. So as I'm down here, I always try to face and check the cows. They stay over there. I think one time they thought I was putting more food out here and they came over. But they get jealous of each other. So if one did come over, you start petting them, and they start pushing each other, and it can be dangerous. And then if you're standing by one out in the middle of a field, something spooks them. You know, it could be anything. It just scares them. Since they're prey animals, they'll take off and run. And they don't care if you're in their way. They'll run you right over. And they're not trying to hurt you on purpose, but they're just big animals. So, unlike all that stuff you see online, people laying around with cows and stuff, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, to each their own, you know, if you want to do that. But I always face them, keep an eye on their location, know my exits, keep myself in position that I have enough time to move out of the way, because it only takes one time of just thinking it'll be okay. Then you're under a 1,000-pound cow, or one ran over you. I don't want to know what that would feel like. You guys get to hear my thoughts, my daily chore thoughts. There were flies all over that one. Those flies are still out. But I try to do this until things, you know, are frozen. And obviously when it freezes, I can't. And then in the spring, that's when I'll bring the quad through and drag it. Get them off of this pasture. Let it get ready for the next year. This is a good time also to monitor their manure paths, because that tells you a lot about the health of your animals. Obviously, being out, like when I gave them that food, I kind of look them over. I try to regularly, look at their hooves. Just see how they're walking, make sure they're not limping, check their eyes for any infections. Just checking their health regularly. But I can check their health by what their manure paths look like, how they fall. The way theirs are is showing a little higher in protein, but it's nothing bad. I mean, just because they're getting all that hay and less green grass. But they look good. But I can tell if they have scours, which is basically a term for diarrhea for cows. I don't know why they just don't call it diarrhea. But and then, of course, I always check the pasture for things in it that shouldn't be in it. Like I said, I always find a piece of trash or two. But, there's people who I don't get it a lot, but you know, sometimes people throw trash out their window. And then the balloons, oh, you guys, I know you hear about, I don't know. I don't understand how releasing balloons is not littering. Just because it goes up before it goes down, it's like be like littering with a giant throw, right? But people will release balloons, you know, for events or whatnot. And then they're gonna come down and that's littering. So it makes no sense why that's even legal to do. Guess where they come down? A lot of times farms like this. See those little babies out there? They will think that shiny balloon is something fun to eat, and in most cases it will kill them or get them really, really sick, injured, lots of stuff. So, as much as that's always something, people know happens, they just keep doing it. To lay down over here. So cows will usually go to the bathroom right when they stand up. So if you see a big area of them, like right here, it means they were all laying down together. I mean, they still go when they're walking around sometimes, but almost always can count on them going after they stand up from laying down for a bit. There's a little more out here than normal. I mean, usually it's a good amount, but 2 days ago, I missed a rotation day of just, you know, rotation where I rotate back and forth half the pasture, but because I think I was setting up that extra sheep area over there. So I knew that was going to take a while. So if I miss one rotation day, it definitely, that's a whole another day of them putting down their manure. So it adds it. So if I am able to stay on top of it, rotating half the pasture each day, it's a little bit quicker. But that's why you stay on top of it, because you know there's going to be days that you may have to miss. other stuff that just needs to be done. Or, you know, it's not often I get sick or you have a bad night's sleep or something and you just want to take a, just get your basic chores done, necessities, making sure they're fed. But then, you know, if you take a day off rotation, it's just going to be a little more work the next day. So if I can avoid it, I try not to take a day off. This is the calves. Hi, Teddy. So right now, I'll feed them a bale of hay in the morning when I'm doing this. They go through 3 bales so far as a group, so I'll give them a bale in the morning, and then a half a bale. Usually I got to come back out here to, you know, I'm either letting those roosters back out or getting something. Every time I come out here, they want something. So I'll try to save the half a bale if I know I got to come back out and fool with the sheep or just check on them. So about an hour or 2 after this initial bale here, I'll give them a half a bale. And then they'll get a bale and a half later. Usually I'll come out around 5 or 6 and give them another bale. Then I'll walk the dogs. And then when I close up all the animals for the night, they'll get another half a bale. And, you know, with the babies growing and the moms nursing still, you just gotta monitor it. You always want them to be fed well. Because, I mean, obviously it's important to feed them well for obvious reasons, but with cows, they're going to be less likely to try to go through the fence or whatever, you know, going for grass over there. Getting out if they're well fed. But as the babies grow and they're nursing, it may change. And of course you don't, you know, right now the hay is $7 a bale, so you don't want to just keep throwing it out there. Every time we put a bale out, it's $7. So you want to feed them well, but just enough to keep them happy. And it's, you know, you're monitoring it regularly, and they'll tell you. And some bales are just, you know, you can tell some heavier than others, got a little more in it. So sometimes if it's a light bale, you gotta give a little more. Square bales work the best for me. I prefer to, when you keep throwing the hay out on the ground, it feeds the ground, seeds it, helps keep moisture in the ground, so you're taking care of your pastures as you're feeding the animals. If you have for one, a big round bale, you'd have to have a tractor. I mean, a small round bale you could do without a tractor if you wanted to roll it out there, which I had one before, and it's doable. But generally, you'd have to have a tractor, and then you'd have a round bale feeder stuck somewhere that would kill a whole bunch of grass, and then your hay sits out there for days. So it's possible that I could save some with a round bale, maybe a little time, but I don't know. I think a lot would be, the hay wouldn't be as good after a few days, and it'd still be sitting out there waiting for them to eat, and I wouldn't get to, it'd kill that grass more, and I'd have to have a tractor. I mean, well, really wouldn't save, because you'd have to buy the tractor. I used to have a tractor, but I realized I didn't need it. Tell you what, the initial purchase of a tractor, it's not, you can find them, good ones used, just for basic needs. Some maintenance. It's just, to me, if I can use a sled, monitor what they need, the way my pastures are set up, I can move the hay around safely and feed them. This works out better. Even cost-wise, it's a little more labor, but I like to keep, my goal is to keep the labor, keep doing the small labor like this every day, because that's how you're able to keep moving until you're 90, right? And longer. If I do this every day, that's my exercise. Key is to keep doing it. I purposely climb over the gates, try not to open them unless I have to. Farmers carry buckets, which I'll do that for the chickens. Those are all important functional movements that we're designed to be doing every day. So some of it is purposely set up for me to, I'm not trying to avoid doing that stuff, I want to. But it's also in a way that anybody could do it without having to have machinery and gas and costly equipment or costly cattle working systems and stuff. I mean, if you want all this stuff, that's great, but it's not needed. Someday, in these videos, I'll show you my homemade cattle chute, which I do want to bring Edie and try to milk her once in a while, just to keep her used to it. I don't have time to milk her. She lets me milk her out in the pasture, but I'd feel better in the cattle chute. But I want to start, I think I got all that. want to start getting them all in there once in a while, just in case there was some reason they needed to be in there. Haven't had any issues where the vet had to come do anything, but if they did, I need to be able to have a place to contain them. Missed this one. All right. So, hey, much better. And that stuff dries out fast, couple days. See, this is just a few days old here. This just looks like part of the dirt in the ground. So, you know, it takes, I don't know how long that took, but it feels like maybe 20 minutes or so. It's not bad. It's a good little workout. All right. Now I go up, do the chickens. There's a bird in here. Oh my goodness. Come on. Let's see if we can get this bird out. Oh, how do they get in here? There you go. Oh, made it. I think they get in like these little holes here. And then obviously they can't find it again. At least that was a smart one. He got out quick. All right. I think I'm gonna stop this video here, if it's even went this far, because I can't see if it stopped. And then I gotta do the chicken jet. I'll make a second one, add it to this, or just put on a second one. Check these sheep real quick. What are you guys doing up here? You got all that grass down there. Look at your babies out here. They're like off on their own. Yeah. I hear them down there. They hear you. Hi, baby. He's letting me pet him a little more. These are my girls. Let me pet them. All right, let's check these babies. Oh, this is the first, what is this, day 3? That's pretty good. Day 3, they're already fine off on their own. I think you guys are more worried than them now. Look at them out here eating. You guys are all grown up. Hi, babies. Look at you out here on your own. I knew you could do it. This is my first time, you know, well, them having the babies and then weaning them, so I wasn't sure. Before they were just staying along this fence line following their moms. You guys are coming out, and they weren't even coming down here. Look at you. This is my ram. That'll be for sale. Look at them. They're looking so good. He usually lets me pet him, but he's staying busy. Hi, babies. How are you doing? All right, I think I'll end here if this video even went this long.